Hello, everyone. My name is Professor Jean-Baptiste Amos, and welcome to your college algebra. I will be your instructor slash facilitator, administrator throughout this semester. My objective is in this video is to take you through a few items of your syllabus, highlight a few points and mostly some important dates of your scheduled activity, and finally take you through your Canvas class and all that to allow you to have a smooth start of your semester. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to share my screen so you can see your syllabus in which we're going to highlight some important points. So first, the last day of this class will be June 18th, 2025. If you are a student of this class, it means that you had a C on your intermediate algebra or you had a required score on your PERT test. Next, these this is the set of information to find me, which will be important if you want to contact me or you want to um, either reach out by phone or by email, which is the most uh, important communication tool. That's my email here. The most important communication tool that you're going to use throughout the semester. Email me is better than calling me. Email me is better than trying to text. This is not a text phone number, so it's not a mobile phone number. You can't join me by text if you text. So please make sure that you email. But if you are calling, you can call this number during my office hours, which you will find in my door schedule that is posted on Canvas. In this class, participation will be required. And when I say participation, I'm talking about your lecture notes that I require that you take notes completely. You take your complete notes while you're watching the video lectures. You can either take your notes from printing the guided notes, or you can write them in your notebook. But I want to make sure that you have all your notes written while watching the videos. Otherwise, if you miss your notes, any part of your notes, if you choose to not take some part of the notes, then that can be the reason why you don't get this participation point. And by the way, participation is 4% of your final grade. Notes, practice tests, student introduction, and PDF upload assignment, which is one of the important piece of this class because you're gonna need to upload documents throughout the semester. That includes your lecture notes. That also includes your test work. There's a difference between your module notes and your test work, and your test work is part of your test. Test work is will be your 50% of your test score, and it's graded as if you were in an in-person class. So you see how if you are in an in-person class, you take a test, you show your steps, the professor in person will take your paper, go home, or in his office or her office, will sit down, review your work, and give you a grade. And that's how your test work will be treated in for in person, for online class, or at least in this class. And then your results online will be counted as 50%. So your test work will be graded, And if it's not posted, that means all your results, if you get a B online, if you get a B on your computer after taking your test, it's only 50%. The other 50% will be after your test work is graded. So that's how important your test work will be. So in Canvas, I'm going to show you later how to find your test work form that you need to print out. Otherwise, use printer paper to write out the certificate of integrity on it. It's not just sign it. You're going to write out, pencil in on that paper that you're going to show your work. If you don't print out the test form, you have two choices. Either you print out your test form that is posted on Canvas, or you will use printer paper. I'm talking about paper that you would have printed, not line paper. Line paper will not be acceptable. Like a blank paper that you would use in your printer, these are the paper that are acceptable, and you would show your steps and you would show the exact same way that the test form is prepared. You're gonna have to look at it on Canvas and see how it's prepared and do the same layout that is on your test form on that printer paper while writing the certificate of integrity, the whole statement, and sign it. Then you're going to show your work on that. So two options: no line paper. Only the two options are you would print out your test form on Canvas, or you would use printer paper, in which you would pencil in the entire statement of the certificate of integrity that is on your test form, and then you would sign it and you would show the same layout that is on your test form so you can show your work on it. And this work will be counted as 50% of your test score. And that should be uploaded on Canvas for as one file, not multiple pictures. No, one file. And this file format, in order to upload it on Canvas, must be in PDF. In PDF. So I hope that is clear. So let's see how your grade will be broken down in this class. You have 4 tests for a total of 60% of your grade. There would be no makeup test unless you can prove a relevant issue that happened on the date of the test or prior or around the date, but please, that should be proven. And that will not make you eligible to take your test online. I would give you an opportunity to take your test in person. It's only one time. Otherwise, all other tests that you would miss in this semester will be counted as a zero. That's why it's important for you to know your scheduled activity. So there's no makeup test. In fact, you get one chance to miss a test, and you would get an opportunity to take it in person, not online. There's no makeup online. The only chance will be in person. And otherwise, if you can't make it on your appointment to come take it in person, you would get a zero and you would have no other chance to make up a test. However, you have to make sure you communicate with your instructor prior to the due date. If you try to connect with your instructor after the due date of the test, then you miss the opportunity. you get a 0. There is what we call the attendance verification. The attendance verification is due on May 20th, 2025. It's a set of assignments. You have 4 assignments that will constitute the proof of your attendance in this class, and all these assignments are due on May 12th, 2025. Here are the assignments, and if you when I show you Canvas, you would be able to see these assignments listed on the side column of your Canvas page. Number 1 is your student introduction. Number 2 will be your diagnostic test. Number 3 would be the PDF upload 1 assignment, which is a set of 2 pages that you will need to upload in one file, one PDF file. That would be the proof that you understand how to scan, convert to PDF, and upload in Canvas, because you're going to be doing that a lot throughout the semester. And finally, the Start Here quiz. All 4 assignments are expected to be closed on their due date, which is the 12th of May 2025, and will not be reopened. And on the day of the submission of attendance, which is the attendance verification on the 20th of May, if a student misses one of these 3 assignments, as it says here, you will be receiving an instructor withdrawal. There are the quizzes. We got 8, 2 per chapter or 2 per module, a mid-module quiz and an end module quiz, and combined together, that is 10% of your final grade. And then homework is also 10% of your final grade. Your homework and quizzes, they are online. However, you have to make sure that you respect the due date, because there are some penalties scheduled to your homework, mostly your homework. A 25% will be applied to your homework if you don't submit them by the due date. But there is a due date and there is a close date. The close date will be the test day. So say, for example, you're working on module 1, the day you take the module 1 test closes all your assignments for module 1, module 2. However, these assignments have a different due date, that is not the close date, which is the day you take the test for that module. The day you take the test for the module, that's the day all the assignments for this module will be closed. But their due date are different from the close date. You have unlimited attempt for your homework, whereas the quizzes, you only have 3 attempts for them. So that's why it's important for you to practice with your homework so you can master the concepts before you go ahead and take your quizzes. You can take it once and see what's wrong, what topic or concept you didn't master very well. You do it again, and the last attempt you have to make sure that that's the attempt that you're going to maximize on your score. And the third is the last. Each student is given late passes to extend assignment by an extra 48 hours. Late passes will not exempt you from the penalties. Your penalties will be always applied after the due date, and even if you use your late passes. And now, in summary, your grade breakdown is your homework 10%, your quizzes 10%, test 60%, attendance participation is 4%, and final exam is 16% to calculate your final grade. And then communication is a big deal in this class. I want to make sure that you understand that in your email, you need to include a subject line. Without a subject line, your email will not be prioritized and is probably going to be ignored, because I want to make sure that you understand how to email professionally. So a subject line, and the subject line must be class code and name. That's what your subject line should be. And then next, you include a respectful tone for your email. You started with a respectful tone. You introduce yourself, including your schedule, your class uh, code, and then also your schedule, method of delivery that may be online in this case, and so on. And then you present your request. Like I said, I will not be able to go over everything on your syllabus, but I expect you to read everything, and then because that's how you're going to perform well on your Start Here quiz. However, the last thing that I'm going to see with you is that this class is also um, a way for you to practice on the technology that math uses throughout college. And then this is the calculator that this class will be using, and some of the parts of this class will require this graphing calculator and will make it easier for you to perform well in this class. So I encourage everybody. Some students used to think that they can escape not having this calculator, but you would pay the price toward the end of the class, where it will be too late for you to think about buying the calculator, but also the price would be very substantial. So I would advise that you buy your calculator as soon as possible before it's too late for you to have it, or to feel like you want to have it. But if you have this calculator, you're going to use it in your calculus classes, you're going to use it in your statistic classes throughout college. So it's not for one class, it's going to be, um, you're going to use it for a while. So I encourage you to purchase this calculator. Now let's take a trip to your schedule of activity, that in which I want to highlight a few important dates, mostly the test dates. So you have your test one that is from May 19th to the 21st, to the 21st. You must complete your tests by the due date. Again, the reason is because there is no makeup. Also, you have to make sure you prepare your test work form to show all work for each question. Well, if you don't show your work for a question, it must be a question that does not require any explanation leading to your answer, or algebra steps, or anything. If you say no work needed, I will judge it to see if there is no work needed. If there is work needed or explanation or any description leading to your answer, and then you did not show that, you will lose the work point for this question. You will still get the point for the answer, but the 50% point for the work will be missed, so you will not get the full point for this question. So please make sure you are careful about showing your work for each question. So test one, 19th to the 21st of May. Test two will be May 28th to the 30th. Will be open on Honor. I will show you your Honor link later after this slide, and then so on. I would encourage everybody to point out this schedule activity so that you can be on top of your schedule. Now let's take a tour on your Canvas class so you can see what is there. We will go quickly. So your when you go on Canvas, you log in on your class in Canvas. That's what you're gonna see. And the first thing that I'm gonna show you is how these links are not available for you to open. It's because the only module that you can start working on is the welcome module. It has first the video that you are watching. That's the link that leads to that video. The next thing is the course overview. Not only are you going to go through, review your course overview, but you're going to want to make sure you mark at the end, very end, you mark done. That's how you show that you reviewed your course overview. Same thing, you should read your instructor information and mark as done. That's how you done. Your communication policy for this class, review your schedule activity. You don't have to mark as done since these are not indicating for you to mark as done, but you still need to review them. Your student introduction, you need to complete and submit. Review how to work with your Canvas because there's a lot to learn before you master your schedule. You take your start here quiz and you need to earn 7 out of 10 in order to be able to move on. Otherwise, you would be blocked. And then you must submit your PDF upload one assignment to show that you understand the process of scanning and uploading document in this class. After you do that, then this will open. The link here is the book, the text, the ebook for this class, which you can choose to not use because you're gonna have documents for each module, and they are also the same document being used for the lecture, so you can just either print them or just use them without having to review. Unless you want to do some extra exercise, you can use the ebook of this class. And then that's how you're going to go. Module one will, after you complete module one, you mark as done for the module one study materials. And then you take your schedule activity after unlocking the module one, then you would go to module two because you cannot start module two unless you finish module one. And then that's how it will continue, so on, until you're done. Well, it looks like those are open because I feel like the most important thing is to make sure that you guys understand how to enter this class and work with it. And by after module two, I feel like everyone will get the groove and understand how to navigate through the class. Then I get everything open for you to work on. Over here on the side, I have a few links. That's your schedule, that's your syllabus, and that's where you check your grade over here. The most important link here would be the Honor Log 1.3 That's where you click to start. That's the first thing to address whenever it's your test day. Well, not the first thing, but that's where you would click and then follow the prompts to take your test. That's your test work, and each module has one to point out or to copy the statement of um, integrity for each test. Well, when I say that, I mean it. If you upload a document that I can't see, that you wrote down your certificate of integrity and sign it, I may consider not grading your document because why did you skip it? That is an important piece of your test. If you print the document, the form, it will be automatically on it and you would sign it as if you read it and understood everything. I think that completes the video. Obviously, if you have any further questions, I will be pleased to answer them. In the meantime, I want to welcome you and then wish you all the success for this semester.